Well, under our laws, there's nothing that stops a citizen or a person who lives in Zimbabwe from accessing the public bodies like the Parliament of Zimbabwe. It is a public space where citizens can petition and where it must accept those petitions. However, I need to respond to some of the contents of that petition as they've been circulated online. I will put a caveat here that I'm commenting on a document that I saw online, which might not have been released by Parliament, but it has a stamp of Parliament. How it got online is out of my purview. There are many issues that are mixed up in the petition. The first one is that the petitioner lacks basic understanding in terms of how the internet globally should be regulated. The United Nations has come up with what they call the multi-stakeholder approach to internet governance. It's drifting away from this statutory approach which the petitioner is going in terms of motivation. What it tells us is that the petitioner wants to take us back to stages that we left way back when we took the United Nations route. In Zimbabwe itself, when he says that there's a gap, I think it's a very lack of appreciation of the processes. POTRAS is the secretariat of the multi-stakeholder Internet Governance Forum in Zimbabwe, and it has convened Internet Governance Forum type of interventions where they discuss how to regulate the online spaces. And throughout successive resolutions, it has been drifting towards the approach wherein all stakeholders come to the center, review the progress, propose way forward, and move together in an organic manner rather than a statutory approach. The second issue is that the petitioner confuses many things. For example, he's talking of the Information and Media Commission, which is comatose, which was lastly in existence around 2006. And nowadays there's the Zimbabwe Media Commission, which is a creation of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. And the petitioner is confusing and missing those things, referring to a dead body, which is the commission, which was headed by Dr. Maoso. And he also confuses things that there are gaps in the law. The data and cyber law does not only establish the Data Protection Authority as POTRAS, it also establishes the cyber security, which is already in existence. And to our surprise, we are not sure when he says gaps, where are the gaps? And to us, we are actually our approach has been balance the interests of citizens and security needs. And to this end, we are actually surprised that in this age and manner and time, there is a citizen who can actually motivate for a securocratic approach to internet governance. This is taking us backwards. Parliament itself has made various legislation that is drifting towards digital rights rather than towards securocratic nature in terms of regulation. He then proposes many other issues that there must be a statutory body, social media statutory body. That's impossible. Even if you want to, even if the world wants to, there is no adequate resource base to actually attempt to do it. Because how do you regulate? How do you monitor? Let's just take one platform. Let's just take TikTok. You need metric hours, tons of hours to actually have to apportion resources to monitoring such digital platforms. So the petitioner might be mixing up a lot of things. The current approach which the United Nations has motivated, multi-stakeholder approach, is the best approach. What POTRAS has done as a head of the Zimbabwe Internet Governance Forum is recommended and commendable, that it is bringing together players. Ourselves as MISA, annually we also convene a regional Internet Governance Forum to complement and work hand in glove with the government. As you understand that we also contributed in terms of legislation review leading to the repeal of IPA, where we were drifting away from these punitive approaches to regulation towards more responsive legislation like the Freedom of Information Act. And we had actually some fairly balanced data protection component of the cyber security, which we thought that could be improved rather than taking us backwards back to statutory approaches towards regulation of things. So to our surprise, this is coming from a citizen, presumably a citizen. We hope that Parliament will engage the document with the appreciation of the roadmap that have emerged from successive portfolio committee reports from the portfolio committee on ICT, on information and media, from the portfolio committee on justice, which were drifting towards a balanced approach in digital rights regulation, spaced with the correct avenues of truth-telling. And that is the best way to go about it, but also entrenching fact-checking mechanisms within the media, democratizing them so that citizens can become aware of the various mechanisms that are available towards fact-checking before they share information. And there is no police person who can be 24/7 doing surveillance on what citizens are communicating. That is contrary to the provisions of the Constitution, which is citing Section 61, which provides for the right to freedom of expression, and only providing limitations on the basis of security and infringement of other people's rights. So the element is trying to bring is not even provided for in terms of the limitations under the Constitution. So to me, Parliament cannot in any position just decline to accept documents from the public. They have to engage with the documents, with the relevant committees when they receive it. They must just assess it against their footprints in terms of engaging on how to regulate expression in the country. And the most democratic way of regulating expression in a country is to allow various opinions to be presented on different platforms so that citizens, by their nature, can make informed decisions.